show you how to cape out a deer head completely so that you can travel back home with it from wherever you're hunting. I'm Carlyle Sutton. I'm with Sutton Taxidermy. My telephone number is 843-672-5183, and I'm in Pageland, South Carolina. I'm going to start, we're going to measure this deer, and then I'm going to talk about the do's and don'ts. We're going to measure the eye to nose, and I'm going to come right to the corner of the eye, but not where it's sunk in, but just to the corner and to the flush with the edge of the nose here. This one's going to be just a tad over 7 inches. So that's 7 inches. After that, we're going to measure the neck. And I'm going to take the ruler and I'm going to slide it under. And most of the neck's gone here, but we would slide it under and measure around in the smallest circumference here, around the neck. And then I would come down 3 inches behind that measurement and measure around one more time. And that would give me enough measurements on this deer. Okay, the way I start measuring the deer, skinning the deer, the way I start skinning the deer is I would come in here and I come to his mouth and I reach on the inside, being careful not to cut any of the hair. I reach in with my knife and I cut in here. And I just start making some slices. I pull his nose back and I cut right there. And I'm going to come, there's some cartilage in here where his nose is, and I'm going to just gently saw through that cartilage. Have to come right above the bone in the palate. And I'm trying to save as much of the skin on the inside of the nose as I can for the tucking of the remount. I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. I reach in there and I'm staying next to the jawbone. I'm just slicing the skin away. Right up against that bone. That gives you plenty of lip. The reason I do this first is from skinning this way, you know exactly where to cut. If you're skinning from the other direction, you can come up on this lip and cut through onto the skin, onto the hair side real easy. Just coming right in, I'm being careful cutting back towards the skin a little bit, towards the hair, so that I'm getting through the cartilage. Okay, once I do that, I've got that started. I'm going to pull that back down. I'm going to turn the deer and I'm going to come to the back. And I'm going to make an incision. I'm going to cut from one antler across to the other, kind of in a C shape, and then I'm going to cut down. I'm going to come right up under this antler. I'm going to start my knife, get it up under the skin, and pull it down. I'm working the edge of the knife up under the skin. Switch knives. And I'm not cutting across the hair like this. I'm getting up under the skin and coming up. Like that. I'm going to go and I'm going to get in this incision. I'm going to come right across up under the other one. back at the burr and come back. Once I've got that started, I'm going to come down here. I'm just slicing that. I'm going to open it up. And actually on this deer, I'm going to open it up a little more just for the convenience of showing you. That's normally how far I would cut. I'm cutting right there on the meat, just under the skin. Once I get up under there, if you have access to a screwdriver, once you cut all the way up to the base of the burrs of the antlers, you can take a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, slide in there and twist it and just push the hide off from around the antler. I'm just prying the skin away and pushing. And you may not have access to that, but you can take your knife if you don't and just cut, carefully cut right up under the burrs. And pull it off with your fingers. Once you've got that cut, you just continue skinning around the head. Skinning across the ear, and this ear where it connects, I'm going to try to get close to the skull and cut down close to the skull, and you're going to have to cut through the ear canal. You can feel the muscle around the deer's ear. It's here, and you're going to cut, leaving that on, and you're just going to cut through there. I've got that one started. I'm going to go to the other side. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my screwdriver. I'm going to pry up under it, pull up. I switch back and forth with my knife and my screwdriver at times, making an opening for the screwdriver to go in. Switch to the back, cutting right up under it, right up to the base of the antlers. Try to pull this out where you can see it. I'm going to pull the skin back, and I'm cutting just between the skin and the meat. And then I have this ear butt that I was talking about, and I'm going to cut right down beside it. There was my ear canal. The ear canal is right here. And I'm going to pull this open. And you just keep skinning just as you would skin a deer. You want to go slow when you start getting in front of the antler. You want to be careful. Okay, your eye is right here, and as you start getting in front of this antler here, you want to be careful for your eye. I'm going to cut a little bit on top. Okay, and I'm getting on this bone that's around the eye. I'm being careful. I've got my finger up under the eye, and I'm feeling my way on the outside. I feel my eye so that I know exactly where it is, and I'm very easily cutting just right around that eye orbit. And what I did then, I pulled it out so that I knew I was cutting through the membrane of the eye and not through the skin. I'll cut this down a little more. Then I can pull this out some and just carefully cut right there. You don't want to go too much because you don't want to cut the front corner of your eye. Be careful because you get ticks. So I'm just carefully cutting down around the corner of the eye, and the skin is real close to the eye orbit there. You've got to be real careful. Once you get down that far, I'll cut some more of this. I'll switch to the other side, just catch it up a little bit so you can see it better. Flip it. I'm going to start right back here. Get some of this caught up. Coming back on towards the eye. Right, here's the eye orbit again. Come right in front of the antler and cut this skin down. Right there, here's the bone of the eye, the orbit. Take my knife, just cutting right around it. Freeing some of that skin up so that it releases, comes further out. And I can feel the corner of my eye, and the corner of my eye is where the eye turns to go back on the inside. And I feel that, and I can cut past it. Next thing is you've got your tear duct. Your tear duct is that hole that's in front of your eye. And we're going to try to save most of that. So you're going to slowly cut down the bridge in front of the eye. And then you're going to go around that hole, staying I let the knife follow the bone as much as I can. And you'll have to use the point of the knife to cut the skin off, just a little bit at the time. And we've done it. Right here, I'm coming back to the inside of the mouth. Is right here. Right here's the inside of the mouth. And I can tell I've got a hole where I've cut back in with the knife earlier. So I'm cutting down right there. Staying right next to the bone again. A little bit on this side. Okay, now I'm going to flip back over here. We're going to do the tear duct on the other side. See if I can turn this around. Maybe you can see better. It's a little backwards to me, but staying right next to the eye. Coming down. I need to get down in that hole. There we go. Right, there's the inside of the mouth again. Reach in there with my knife. Cut through. There we have it. And that's how I take it off.